The magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called.
Put your hands together now.
Puff, the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called.
We're very, very fortunate to be able to welcome tonight one of the foremost Celtic and folk bands from the San Francisco Bay Area, Shanachie. Let's have a welcome.
Good evening. How are you? I can see them. That's neat. Can't see many of you. It's okay. It's great to be here. What a beautiful day it was in Reading for us. And yesterday at all the schools. We're checking out the sound a little bit now before the start of this, and as the guys are getting ready. An interesting thing is sometimes these are omens. I like to reject omens. You ever have omens in your life? Well, I went over there and picked up my finger picks for my banjo, right? Went to Germany a couple of years ago, and the guy gave me a bunch of left-handed ones, so I have the left-handed one. So you'll have to excuse me for a second as Mike ad-libs while I get my act together. This is Mike.
Thank you. We've had the pleasure of performing for some of the schools the last couple days while we've been up here. We're from the San Francisco Bay Area, and it's a bit of a drive, but we're glad to be here. Glad to see so many children here, and I'm glad you brought your families along too.
Here's a song from our school show from Ireland, don't you know? There's a musing winter breeze blowing through the pine trees as I bundle up my coat to keep me warm. The days are on the mend, soon I'll be on the road again, with me fiddle snuggled close beneath my arm. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I got rosin in me pocket for me bow. And me fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble ere I go.
I'm as happy as a king as I catch a breath of spring, and the grass is growing green as winter ends, and the geese are on the wing as the whistles start to sing, and I'm headed down the road to see my friends.
I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I got rosin in me pocket for me bow. And me fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble ere I go.
I have friends in every town as I ramble up and down, making music at the markets and the fairs. To the donkeys in the field, the farmers making deals, and the yellow-hatted tinkers selling wares.
I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I got rosin in me pocket for me bow. And me fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble ere I go.
Here's a health to one and all, to the big and to the small, and to rich and poor alike, and foe and friend. And when we return again, may our foes all turn to friends, and may peace and joy be with you until then.
I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I got rosin in me pocket for me bow. And me fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble ere I go.
Put your hands together.
I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I got rosin in me pocket for me bow. And me fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble ere I go. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues, I got rosin in me pocket for me bow. And me fiddle strings are new, and I learned a tune or two, and I'm well prepared to ramble ere I go.
If I had a hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening,
all over this land. I'd hammer out
Danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
Ooh, if I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out
Danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
Ooh, if I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out
Danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
ooh, well, I've got a hammer
and I've got a bell.
and I've got a
Song to sing all over this land. It's a hammer of justice, it's a bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. It's a hammer of justice, it's a bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
Thank you. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's time to give you a little introduction on what we do. The name of the group is Shanachie, which is an Irish word that means storyteller. And the group has been in existence since 1979. I stopped counting years when I got to be my age. Some of you might recognize that symptom. And we've traveled. We've been very blessed that we've been traveling so many different places and making friends, and we'll get into that in a little while. But we want you to know that this is just not a group that got together by accident. Everybody up here has either taken courses or graduated from universities with degrees in musicology. For example, David there went to the same school as I did, USC, University of Southern Cupertino. All right? And we both have certificates in music from there. Now Mike, for example, he went to San Jose State. And Phil, he's got his degree from University of California, Santa Cruz, which really surprised me because I didn't realize they did anything down there except surfboard and stuff like that. You know, we kid them about that once in a while. But just to show you this is not a joke, I'm gonna lay a couple of musicology terms on you. When you study music, it is the science of musicology. So to show you that this is a bona fide thing we're representing, this next song we're going to share with you, we're going to do in a form of music called acapulco. All right?
Acapulco?
Yeah, yes, that's when you sing without your increments.
No. Acapulco is where you're sending us on a well-deserved vacation.
I was going to send you to acapella.
That's no fun.
Why?
You can't take your instruments.
In South Australia I was born.
Heave away, haul away.
In South Australia round Cape Horn.
We're bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away. Haul away, you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia.
As I walked out one evening fair,
Heave away, haul away.
was there I spied Miss Nancy Blair.
We're bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away. Haul away, you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia.
I shook her up, I shook her down.
Heave away, haul away.
I shook her all around the town.
We're bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away. Haul away, you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia.
There's just one thing that grieves me mind.
Heave away, haul away.
To leave Miss Nancy Blair behind.
We're bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away. Haul away, you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia.
And as you wallop around Cape Horn,
Heave away, haul away.
you wish to God you'd never been born.
We're bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away. Haul away, you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. Haul away, you rolling king. Heave away, haul away. Haul away, you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. We're bound for South Australia. We're bound for South Australia.
Oh, hey, and up she rises.
Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises.
Early in the morning. What are you gonna do with a drunken sailor? What are you gonna do with a drunken sailor? What are you gonna do with a drunken sailor? Early everybody down. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning.
Oh, keel haul from port to starboard, keel haul from port to starboard, keel haul from port to starboard,
Early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning.
Time with the scuppers with a hosepipe round him. Time with the scuppers with a hosepipe round. Time with the scuppers with a hosepipe round him.
Early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning. That's what you do with a drunken sailor.
That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what you do with a drunken sailor.
Early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. Early in the morning.
Thank you. As you can see, we really take our role in life seriously. Nothing is really sacred. We have played for a lot of different Celtic events. We've played for English parties. We've played for a lot of Irish events. We've also played for a lot of Highland games and Scottish things. And it's very interesting because people in our country, when you spend time overseas as we do, when you have the pleasure of spending time, you find out the Americans' conception of what goes on overseas is not really even close to what goes on. She's shaking her head, you know, yeah. And for example, when somebody says, oh, we're going to Ireland, we've been planning this for years now. Do you have any advice? I said, take an umbrella. Because Mike can tell you, when we represented the United States in the Dublin Millennium Festival in 1988, the 1000th anniversary of the founding of the city of Dublin, don't you know? As Mike will tell you about, how was our summer there, Mike?
Well, wouldn't you agree, Phil? We saw summer one day.
Yeah, for about 3 hours.
I thought it was more like a half a day. But
Yeah.
It was at least a half an hour.
But the same thing goes with people that are involved in the Scottish culture, all right? They think you're supposed to sound a certain way and act a certain way. And one night we were playing in this, well, we were playing in a bar, okay? And we were playing a saloon, and somebody walked up in front of us and said, well, why are you going to play this Scottish music? We said, we're doing a Scottish song right now. David was doing a beautiful Scottish song, written by the words were written by the famous Scottish bard Robbie Burns. And it was, will you go, lassie, go? And he said, he's doing a Scottish song. No, I'm an authentic Scottish song. My wife Gladys, well, she's under the table, full glass. We were in Scotland last year for 3 days, and we know everything there is about Scotch people. And I thought, well, if you really know so much turkey, don't you know that Scotch is something you drink, and the Scots are people, you know? So I come here, what could we do to make this individual think that we were really could be authentic? And so we put our heads together and we came up with this. It wasn't easy. To sound and act Scottish is not an easy thing to do. So we're going to see if everybody's in the mood here, okay? Are you ready over there, Davy? Ach hoot! Oh, same to you. Are you ready, Phil?
it's a brobrick moonlick nick to nick.
I beg your pardon?
I said it's a brobrick moonlick nick to nick.
You can say it with all these kids in front of you. Okay, can you say something Scottish?
No.
Oh, man, you got to have something Scottish.
This is a television show. This is going to go
Man.
all over
Oh,
the world. And you,
television.
can, you try something
Anything.
Scottish. Come on
Just
now.
try something.
Well, Captain, I'm giving her all she's got.
A Scottish song. We do folk music. We have a lot of fun doing it. We do this song in the schools. Tell the students it's over 125 years old. It is. This is a song that's sung in Swahili. We need your help, though. Now, if you guys can't do this, just follow them. They can always do it on the off rhythm, all right? So you just start. Get your hands together. Sort of sway with the music. Remember? Jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Here comes your part now. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, everybody, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Everybody now. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Now take it on down. Put your hands together now.
Thank you very much.
It's been so much fun up here the last couple of days, and it's made us, quite frankly, very humble to realize that we have been given a gift, each and every one of us up here, and the lady that will join us later, to relate to little people. And as a matter of fact, we've had the pleasure of performing for over 500,000 students all over the world. And we never get tired of it. It is so much fun. We tell them a story, the older kids on the show that we do, and we're going to share it with you really quick, which is our license because we are, in fact, Shanachies. This particular song tells about a young man, who was in school. He was probably in the 5th or 6th grade. And he was sitting in the schoolyard one day. The place was Santiago, Cuba, back about 1860. Sitting in the schoolyard. He's writing a notebook, and some of his friends come up to him and say, "What are you writing, Jose?" His name was Jose Marti. He says, "Oh, nothing." He puts his book behind him because he's afraid to tell them that he's writing poetry, because they might think he's a sissy or something. So finally he says, "Okay, I'll tell you if you promise not to laugh." And then they said, "Okay, I'm writing a poem." And they all go, "Jose's writing a poem." And by this time there's 8 or 10 kids. What's around? Doesn't matter. He's writing a poem. Can you believe it? Oh, ridiculous. So he says, "No." He says, "Will you read it to us?" And by this time there's 10 or 15 kids there. They're all getting ready to make fun of him, okay? And Jose starts reciting his poem. And all the giggles are ready to start and everything, and they just never happen. Because it turns out he's writing about them and the things they did in school. And when he's finished, he goes, "Whoa." Well, the teachers heard about this. And pretty soon Jose became a celebrity. And as he got older in his teens, his ideas of poems changed from writing about his friends and his dog and family picnics and parties and things like that. He looked around. He didn't see things that were very, very good happening, because the Spanish that had been running the country since the time that Columbus discovered Cuba back in 1492, or 1494 to be exact. Jose was writing about things that the people didn't have, like freedom and human rights and dignity and respect. The Spanish hauled him into the fort, into the dungeon, said, "You're a troublemaker, kid. You're writing things that are making the people in this country unhappy. Either you knock it off or you're gone." 17 years old. I'd like to have to make a choice between telling the truth and leaving your country. He left, but they smuggled his poems back in. And the stories are told around campfires to this day, all over Latin countries, about how the printing presses ran late at night when the soldiers were in the fort asleep, and people would wake up in the morning with the poems on their front doorsteps. And as they got more brazen, they were tacked to the doors of the fort. Eventually, the Spanish people were overthrown by the Cubans. Jose came back and fought in the war. Died when he was about 75, but this day, if you talk to anyone that speaks Spanish, the poems of young Jose Marti are the beacon for freedom in Latin countries. Here's one of his songs written by an American patriot, Pete Seeger, to his words.
Guantanamera, Guajira Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira Guantanamera.
Yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece la palma. Yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece la palma. Ay, antes mi reguero, echando mis versos de la ama.
Guantanamera,
Everybody,
Guajira Guantanamera,
muy bueno.
Guantanamera, Guajira Guantanamera.
Mi verso es de un verde claro y de un carmín encendido. Mi verso es de un verde claro y de un carmín encendido. Mi verso es un ciervo herido que busca en el monte paz.
Guantanamera, Guajira Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira Guantanamera. Guajira Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira Guantanamera.
Con los pobres de la tierra Yo quiero mis versos echar con los pobres de la tierra. Yo quiero mis versos echar. El arroyo en la sierra me cantan más que el mar. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Watch me now. Guantanamera, yeah. Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Well, I am a wild rover and I've been a bold deceiver, and I make my living with my pistol and my rapier. What I've stolen, Lord, would make a pretty penny, and now I've lost it all to me darling sporting Jenny.
Ring-a-ma-doo-ram-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
Now, if you were in Ireland with us now, you'd be clapping on this song. We'll show you how it's done. So pay attention, there's a quiz after this. It goes like this. Push-a-ring-a-ma-doo-ram-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. Push-a-ring-a-ma-doo-ram-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
Well, I robbed Colonel Farrell up on Kilgarra Mountain. I took the gold to Jenny for to help me with the counting. But Jenny called the guards, Lord, I never seen so many. I darn near lost me freedom to me darling sporting Jenny.
Ring-a-ma-doo-ram-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
Now some take delight in a fishing and a bowling, others take delight in the carrying wheels of rolling, but I take delight in the juice of the barley, courting pretty fair maids in the morning so early.
Ring-a-ma-doo-ram-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
Well, I'd like to find my brother, he's the one who's in the army. I don't know where he's stationed, be it Cork or in Killarney. And we go running o'er the mountains of Kilkenny. I know he'd treat me better than me darling sporting Jenny.
Ring-a-ma-doo-ram-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
It was early in the morning at the barracks of Killarney. My brother took his leave, but he didn't tell the army. The horses, they were swift, 'twas all over but the shouting. And now I make a bed upon Kilgarra Mountain.
Ring-a-ma-doo-ram-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. Ring-a-ma-doo-ram-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
Thank you very much. The name of this group, which you may have gathered from the poster on your way in, is Shanachie. And Shanachie is a Gaelic word that means bard or storyteller. And one thing the bards and storytellers, the Shanachies of old Ireland, did was they wandered around, and the four of us do quite a bit of that. David and Phil and Jim and myself have logged thousands and thousands of miles singing our songs and stories. So it's appropriate that we do a song right now about the Tinkers in Ireland. And the Tinkers go from place to place, and when a town gets tired of them, they just pick up and they travel on.
So I notice a lot of people up here have RVs, campers, and four wheels. There's a little wanderlust in every one of it this time of year, you know? Something says, come up in the mountains. For that spirit of wanderlust in each one of you and us, we dedicate this song about the Tinkers. We're a free-born clan of the traveling people. Got no fixed abode, with nomads we do wander. Country lanes and highways were always my ways. I never fancied being numbered. Now we knew the woods and the resting places, and the small birds sang when winter days were over. Then you'd pack your load and be on the road. Those were good old times for a rover. Now I know life hard, and I knowed it easy, and I cursed out night when winter days were darkest. But we laugh and sing through the whole night long. See the summer sunrise in the fall. Open land where a man could linger for a week or two, and time was not our master. Then away we'd come with your house and all, nice and easy, no need to go far. Free-born clan of the traveling people. Every tinker, rolling stone, and gypsy rover. Winds of change are blowing, the ways are going. Your traveling days will soon be over. Your traveling days will soon be over. Your traveling days will soon be over.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to be joining us in a song now from Ireland? Like I said, many people have a misconception of Ireland and what it does and things. It's a charming place. It's a lovely place. As a matter of fact, you're looking at a group of Americans with a man named Jim Rivera, who's got to be the only Puerto Rican Irishman you ever heard of in your life.
Oh, you don't say.
Yes. Who were made honorary dubs by the Lord Mayor herself when we were over there in 1988. And somebody said to us, Somebody said to us as we were admiring the plaque that we got in this pub, he says, yeah, well, I was born here. I said, yeah, but yours was an accident. We had to earn ours. All right. Now, there's a song, the misconception of Ireland, it's something we've heard from the tourist bureaus and from Bing Crosby and everything. Everybody thinks the most popular lady that ever lived in Dublin is who? She used to wheel her wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow. You remember? Molly Malone. And as the Irish say, not at all, not at all. It was a lady by the name of Dicey Riley, don't you know? And there's a song about her, because there's a song about everything important in Ireland. And we need your help. We need you to put your hands together twice in a row, all of you, like this. 1, 2. Can you help us out? Now the rest of all of you. Oh, that's lovely. Sound simple? Listen to the song and you will see. Poor old Dicey Riley, she has taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's up each morning to the hop, where she nips in for another little drop of the heart. Ah, the ruckus Dicey Riley.
Poor old Dicey Riley, she has taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's up each morning to the hop, where she nips in for another little drop of the heart. Ah, the ruckus Dicey Riley.
She walks along Skibbon Street with an independent air.
Okay, we're going to try this another way. Everybody join hands in the room, please. Concentrate, breathe deeply. Om, 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 om. This goes over very big in Orange County. Om, 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 om.
We will now attempt to contact the living. Now let's try it again. She walks along Skibbon Street with an independent air. And then it's off to Summer Hill where at her people stare. She says it's nearly 1:30, so nipping for another little one of the heart. Ah, the ruckus Dicey Riley.
Poor old Dicey Riley, she has taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's up each morning to the hop, where she nips in for another little drop of the heart. Ah, the ruckus Dicey Riley.
Sweet shop at the corner of the street. And every evening after school I go to wash her feet. She lets me stay and mind the shop while she nips in for another little drop of the heart. Ah, the ruckus Dicey Riley.
Poor old Dicey Riley, she has taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's up each morning to the hop, where she nips in for another little drop of the heart. Ah, the ruckus Dicey Riley.
You're on your own now.
Poor old Dicey Riley, she has taken to the sup. Poor old Dicey Riley, she will never give it up. For it's up each morning to the hop, where she nips in for another little drop of the heart. Ah, the ruck, the heart, ah, the ruck, the heart, ah, the ruckus Dicey Riley.
Give yourselves a big hand. Interesting thing as you reflect on your life. Somebody asked me on my last birthday, was my 59th birthday, oh, don't you wish you could do it all over again? I said, no. I said, I paid my dues already. But it's nice to reflect on things. I was thinking when I was driving up here, because this country is very, very similar in a sense. A lot of trees and a lot of green, at least for the first time in a long time, praise God. Where I grew up. Though there's not a lot of trees and mountains in Chicago, all right? My grandparents lived up in Wisconsin. And every summer, I'll never forget it, because it was my brother's birthday. The 9th of June was the last day of school let out, and the 10th I got on the Twin City Zephyr, fastest train to set the speed record at the time, way back in the Second World War. Go to my grandparents' house. They could send you on a train by yourself as a kid. It was safe back then. A friend of mine I went to school with a long time ago back in Illinois. I went to a place in Peru, Illinois. He went a little further down to Carbondale. His name was Steve Goodman. Many of you might not know who he is. But if you do, you know, he busted with a talent. Steve's dead now. He had leukemia. Went to the doctor, and the doctor told him he had 6 months to live, so 14 years later he decided to die. That was long enough. What kept him alive is music. Here's a song for all you people who remember getting on a train when it was exciting, you know? Not like where we live down in the Bay Area where it's Caltrans. Oh yeah, I went on a train, I went on Caltrans. But you made friends sometimes for life on trains. And the conductor didn't stand there and come over the mic and say, this is the captain. If you look way down there, that teeny little spark is Mount Everest or something like that, you know. You could see it up close and you met people. We do this when we travel. I recommend it to you. Every next time you go on a journey anywhere across this country, you need gas, get off the interstate. And go into little towns and meet people. They're pretty friendly people in this country, just like you. Here's a song about trains we hope you remember. Riding on the city of New Orleans, it's Illinois Central Monday morning rail. There's 15 cars and 16 restless riders. There's 3 conductors, 25 sacks of mail. We're out on the southbound Odyssey. The train pulls out of Kankakee, rolling past the houses, farms, and fields, passing towns that have no name and freight yards full of old black men in graveyard full of rusted automobiles. Come on along now. Just singing, good morning, America, how are ya? Yeah. Say, don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm a train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Tell them now, David.
Playing cards with the old man in the club car. Well, it's a penny a point, there ain't nobody keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle. You can feel the wheels are rumbling through the floor. And sons of Pullman porters and sons of engineers ride their father's magic carpets made of steel. And mothers with their babies sleep are rocking to the gentle beat. The rhythm of the rails is all there.
Here we go now.
Just singing, good morning, America, how are ya? Say, don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm a train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles for a day.
Just drive those big engines.
Nighttime on the city of New Orleans. We're changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home and we'll be there by morning, where the Mississippi darkness rolls down to the sea. And all the towns and people seem to fade into a bad dream. The old steel rails still ain't heard the news. Conductor sings his song again. Passengers will please refrain. This train's got the disappearing railroad blues. Just singing, good night, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm a train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be going 500 miles a day.
Put your hands together now.
I'm just singing, good night, America, how are you?
Yeah.
Hey, don't you know me, I'm your native son. I'm a train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone a long, long time when the day is done.
Let me tell you a story about another train that goes all the way down to New Orleans. Only this is a freight train. But back in the old days, the freight trains used to have to hug the Mississippi River on the eastern side. But they got to a place called Biloxi, which of course is in Mississippi, don't you know? Then they crossed this bridge and come to a toll gate as soon as they got into Louisiana. Every day the trains came through, they had to stop at the toll gate. Now, depending on what they had on board, they might have to pay a toll. This particular day, this particular train comes to a halt right there at the toll gate. He says, "Good morning, Mr. Toll Gate Man," says the engineer. And the toll gate man says, "Good morning, engineer. And where are you going?" He says, "I'm headed down to New Orleans to have myself a time." Well, the toll gate man says, "Well, I'm happy you're going down to New Orleans to have yourself a time. But before you go, I'm going to check in those boxcars, because if you're packing any pig iron, you're going to have to pay a toll." When Junior noted his whole train was loaded down with pig iron, also noted if he had to pay a toll, he wouldn't have any money to have a good time down in New Orleans. So he thought real fast. He said, "Tell me what I'm going to do, Mr. Toll Gate Man." He says, "What's that?" "Did you happen to notice how many cars are on this train?" Toll Gate Man looks down and goes, "Woo! wait, I can't even see the end. Well, how many do you estimate there are? And the engineer said, well, there's 428. Land of Goshen, says the toll gate man. That's a lot of cars. The engineer said, that's exactly right. You got to count every one of them to see if you got any pig iron. Well, the engineer says, do you happen to notice how hot it is already? He says, of course I do. It's 95 degrees and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be a scorcher. Now, what does that have to do with it? He says, well, if you put 2 and 2 together, you're going to find out if you got to check in every one of these boxcars for some pig iron, which, of course, you know I ain't carrying in the first place, don't you know? You're going to be here all day today, all day tomorrow. The next day, in this hot sun. He says, well, why don't you tell me what you got on that train, and I'll decide whether or not you can go on through. He says, that's simple. I got cows. I got pigs. I got horses. I got ducks. I got the all livestock. I got the all livestock. I got the all livestock. Well, the tollgate man is wiggling, but he isn't dead yet. And the toll engineer says, tell you what else I'm going to do, Mr. Tollgate man. He says, what's that? He says, when I get back from having myself a time down in New Orleans, I'm going to be carrying a bottle of Old Crow. Now, what do you think of that? He says, well, why didn't you just say that in the first place? With that, he lifts up the toll gate. The engineer pulls the throttle out. The wheels start turning. The train starts moving. And as that engineer's sitting up in his cab, he's got a little smile sort of creasing the corners of his mouth. And the further down the road that train gets, the bigger the smile gets, until that caboose passes through the toll gate. He lets out a laugh and he says, well, I fooled you. I fooled you. I got the old pig eye. I got the old pig eye. I got the old pig eye. Let me tell you where you're taking this train now. Down the Rock Island line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island line is a road to ride. The Rock Island line is a mighty good road. Well, if you wanna ride it, gotta stride it like you're flying. Get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island line.
Engines in the front, cabooses in the back. It goes so fast it nearly leaves the track.
Down the Rock Island line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island line is a road to ride. The Rock Island line is a mighty good road. Well, if you wanna ride it, gotta stride it like you're flying. Get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island line.
There's room for me, there's room for you. Plenty of room for the Rock Island crew. Down the Rock Island line is a mighty good road. The Rock Island line is the road to ride.
The Rock Island line is a mighty good road. Well, if you wanna ride it, gotta stride it like you're flying. Get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island line.
This train don't carry no gamblers.
This train,
This train don't carry no gamblers.
this train,
This train don't carry no gamblers. No high-toned women, no midnight ramblers.
this train don't carry no gamblers. This train,
This train done carried my mother.
this train,
This train done carried my mother.
this train,
This train done carried my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, and my lover.
this train don't carry my mother. This train,
This train is bound for glory.
this train,
This train is bound for glory.
this train,
This train is bound for glory. She don't carry nothing but the righteous and the holy.
this train is bound for glory. This train. Got to tell you a little bit of what's going to come up in a half. Hope you stick around because we even have another surprise. This is the warm-up for the second show, okay? We are adding another member. I hate to say we're adding a fifth. That doesn't sound very good, does it?
I can drink to that.
Yes, you could. But we had little people, we promised any little people that showed up, we would do some songs, okay? So right now, here's a little person song. Now you can pretend, and it's really neat. People say, why do you enjoy doing school scrolls? I said, because we can be kids again and get away with it. I grew up, as I said, in the end of the Depression, and I never, when I was a lot older, I never was able to figure out how I was supposed to act my age when I was 4. Yeah. You remember that? Act your age when you're 4. Well, you do when you get whacked. Yeah. It was that simple. But now I can do those things. We're going to sing a song about my dog. Remember my dog?
That's a real famous dog that you had,
That's right. Somebody wrote a song about him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember this too? You can be kids too and sing. Because you guys better. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, B-I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh. Remember how we do this now? Every time we take one letter away and we clap. So we're going to take one letter away. Here we go. There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, I-N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh.
Want to try taking 2 away?
I don't know, kids. Should we try 2?
And we're going to need a lot of help.
Okay.
There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, N-G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh.
Should we go for 3?
Should we try 3? What do you think? That's pretty hard. Should we do it? Go for it, okay?
There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh, G-O, 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 and Bingo was his name. Oh.
Now we're going to slow things down a lot. We're going to really slow as if you had a 78 RPM record and you played it 33 and a third. You won't understand it, but your parents might explain it to you someday, okay? There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Now we're going to do it really fast, okay?
There was a farmer had a dog, and Bingo was his name. Oh. Bingo was his name. Oh.
In days of old, when knights fought battles of bravery for the hands of fair maidens, the Shanachies roamed the land of Ireland and England, telling stories of the high kings, of Brian Boru, Hugh Red Fitzgerald, the priding prince of Donegal. Return with his death to those days now, as the Shanachie once again tells its tale. will you be putting your hands together with us? That's the style. As you can see, we can only afford a half a drum.
No more Greenland for you brave boys. No more Greenland for you. In 1853, on June of the 18th day, our gallant ship her anchor weighed, from Greenland sailed away.
Brave boys from Greenland sail away. Well, the lookout on the cross tree stood with a spyglass in her hand. There's a whale, a whale fishing cried, and she blows on every span. Brave boys, she blows on every span.
Well, the captain stood on the quarter deck, and a fine-spoken man was he. Overhaul, let your davit tackles full,
And launch your boats for sea, brave boys, and launch your boats for sea.
Well, the harpoon struck, and the lines played out, and the whale made a flounder with his tail. Then the boats capsized,
And 3 men were drowned.
and we
Never caught that whale, brave boys. We never caught that whale. For to lose that whale, the captain cried, grieves my heart full and sore. But to lose 3 of our gallant men,
it grieves me 10 times more, brave boys.
it grieves me 10 times more.
For Greenland is a dreadful place. She's a land that's never green, where there's ice and snow and the whale fishes flow. And daylight seldom seen, brave boys, and daylight seldom seen. Well, the harpoon struck, and the lines played out, and the whale made a flounder with his tail. Then the boats capsized,
And 3 men were drowned.
no more Greenland for you, brave boy. No more Greenland for you. No more Greenland for you, brave boys. No more Greenland for you. No more Greenland for you, brave boys. No more Greenland for you. No more Greenland for you, brave boys. No more Greenland for you. No more Greenland for you, brave boys.
No more Greenland for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
As you can see, we've added a little something to our group. It says in the gospel we all listened to a couple of weeks ago on Sunday. And so we saved the best for last. Okay? This young lady's name is Heather Alexander. She lives in Half Moon Bay. Will you give her a nice Reading welcome?
Mandolin.
This is Heather. How you feeling?
Do I have this?
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
Other way. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Better.
Good. Now, we've been doing school shows this week. Came up 2 days early. That's why my voice is going fast. And it was interesting because everybody has a different impression. Well, this was an all-male group till this lovely lady joined us. I was saying, gee, remember it was great first day of school, making all kinds of friends and everything like that, and we're all laughing about it, and she's got this long look on her face, you know, like, well, what's wrong? Didn't you have fun your first day of school?
No. Not in the least.
Well, why not?
Well, because we ran into something awful. We ran into little boys. And little boys are a real pain in the... It's true. Honest.
Yeah.
Scout's honor.
Well, at least we didn't have cooties.
This is so immature. Well, we don't have to worry about cooties. We're immune to them. We'll just ignore you and play things like jump rope and sing songs and tease each other about who's in love with who's in love with who. I tell me ma when I come home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair and they stole my comb. Well, that's all right till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the maid of Belfast City. She is a courtin', 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her. All the boys are fighting for her. They knock at the door, they ring at the bell, saying, oh my true love, are you well? Up she comes as white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Old Johnny Murray says she will die if she doesn't get the fellow with the roving eye. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the maid of Belfast City. She is a courtin', 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Let the wind and the rain and the hail blow high and the snow come tumbling from the sky. She's as nice as apple pie, and she'll get her own lad by and by. When she's got a lad of her own, she won't tell her ma when she gets home. Let them all come as they will, 'cause it's Albert Mooney she loves still. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the maid of Belfast City. She is a courtin', 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Tell me ma when I come home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pulled my hair and they stole my comb. That's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the maid of Belfast City. She is a courtin', 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the maid of Belfast City. She is a courtin', 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she?
Heather Alexander. Yeah. As I alluded to when we started our show a few minutes ago, we've been up here playing school shows, and it's a lot of fun. As I mentioned, it gives us a chance to be little kids. Now, one of the things we want to share with you is the fact that the group has performed not only here, which is a great pleasure for us, but we've performed all over the world. We've performed in the Middle East. We've performed all over Europe. We've even been to Reykjavik, Iceland, of all places. We've performed all over Canada, the United States. And in this process, we have also performed for over 500,000 students in assemblies, besides the over 7.5 million people we perform for all over the world. It's a wonderful feeling. And you know, the interesting part of it is that when we do our songs, you will find that our school shows are very special. And as we say to little people, we have performed all the places we mentioned. We perform all over the state of California. We perform as far south as San Diego. We've even gone up to the state capital of Sacramento. Yes, we have. I used to say Sacra-tomato, but nobody understood that. And now we're up in Reading. And of all the songs we do, this next song that Mike dug is the favorite song of the little kids. So will you help us out? Would you like to hear Mike do the special song? Would you like to hear Mike do the special song?
The special song!
Yeah!
A special song.
The favorite song of all little kids. He does such a great, you're going to love it.
The special song.
Mike. Seems
Yeah.
like you're stalling.
What's wrong?
What's
I don't remember what song it is.
He doesn't remember the song. What are we going to do? I think we better give him a hint.
See, that's what your parents or your teachers will give you to help you give you the answer, but you have to figure it out. And Mike is very smart. He are a college graduate, see?
I is?
You am. And he'll figure this out. You ready? I'm going to give you a hint. This song about animal who's big and lives in the water.
A song about an animal that is big and lives in the water.
You got it?
Oh, yeah.
He's got this one. He's smart.
Herbie the hippopotamus lives in the San Diego Zoo, and he swims around with tadpoles, and he eats a lot of bamboo.
Mike.
What?
That's the wrong song.
Oh.
What are we going to do? This so embarrassing, all these people and these kids and everything.
I think we better give him another hint. Let me try. Let me
Okay.
try. Okay, now, remember, it's about an animal that's big, lives in the water, but this animal is green like the grass and has a long tail.
Okay. Song about an animal that is big and lives in the water. He's green like the grass and has a long tail. Okay, that works. Okay.
Got it? He's smart.
Give me that chord there. Albert the magic alligator lives in the Okefenokee swamp.
Oh, man.
Hangs out with left-wing possums and he smokes a big cigar.
Mike!
What?
That's the wrong song.
Oh.
Can I give Mike another hint?
Yes, but be sure to use reductive reasoning.
Okay,
He's
we're
smart.
going to use reductive reasoning, so we'll just do a little recap of what we just did. This is a song about an animal that's big and lives in the water, like Herbie. It's a song about an animal that's green like the grass and has a long tail, like Albert the magic alligator. But finally, this animal breathes fire.
Okay, let's see if I got this one. It's a song about an animal that's big and lives in the water. It's green like the grass, has a long tail, and it breathes fire. I know this one.
You said that a minute ago.
No, I really know this one.
Should we give him one more chance, kids? Okay.
Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea.
I think he's got it.
And wallowed in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
George, I think he's got it.
Little Jackie Paper. He loved that rascal Puff and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whene'er they came, and pirate ships would lower their flag when Puff roared out his name. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant strings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff that mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain, and Puff no longer went to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by
by the sea, and frolic in the autumn mist in a land called
Put your hands together now.
Puff the magic dragon live by the sea, and frolic in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon live by the sea, and frolic in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Well, thank you.
Okay, this is a little purpose song, which you can sing it, and you can sing it, and you can sing it, and all of you can sing it. Because you only need to learn one word. Can you say the word la?
La.
Can you say the word la?
La.
Then you can sing the song. As I said, it's about the little people. We'll tell you when to sing it. Now, contrary to what you see on television, leprechauns do not live in a box of Lucky Charms.
They don't?
And they don't live in the Keebler Forest. They live at the end of the rainbow, at the edge of the forest, on the west coast of Ireland. And this is their song. Now, you remember your part, then you can sing the song. Here it goes. Come for a trip on Uncle Nobby's steamboat. There you will find your troubles on the high float. We're gonna take a trip with leprechauns and shamrocks. Leave your troubles and your worries far behind.
And we're going where the grass is growing green, to a mystic land that no one's ever seen, where oblivion rules the mind's reality, and reality fades into a memory.
Here comes your part now.
La, la.
Can you do that?
La, 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 la.
Brilliant.
La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
Captain Bluebeard's up on deck at the gangway to greet you. His first mate's by his side. He'll give help if you want it. He'll take you down below. Your cabin's cool and cozy, full steam ahead. You're ready for to go.
And we're going where the grass is growing green, to a mystic land that no one's ever seen, where oblivion rules the mind's reality, and reality fades into a memory.
Everybody now.
La, la, la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la,
Put your hands together, if you will.
La, la, la.
Oh, yeah.
La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
Bring on the dancing girls.
Oh, boy.
The show is now in motion. The choo-choo train is gone. It's halfway up the mountain. The ferry's on the bridge. Oh no! The banshee's drinking brandy. Uncle Nobby at last is in command.
And we're going where the grass is growing green, to a mystic land that no one's ever seen, where oblivion rules the mind's reality, and reality fades into a memory.
Very softly, if you will.
La, la.
Oh, perfect.
La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
Put your hands together, if you will.
La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
One more time.
La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
funny songs to share with you the different emotions. People often said, why don't you do all fast songs all the time? I said, because then they become commonplace. So every once in a while we'll do a slow song, and here's one that I was thinking a lot about whether we should do this song tonight. I got to tell you the truth. Then I looked around at the audience and said, yeah, we should do this. Because every grown-up here, I don't care who you are, how old you are, how long you've been around, what you've done, we've all shared this emotion. After a relationship breaks up, we sit there and think about what went wrong and how we could have changed it. Of course, half of us, like me, we never did it when the relationship was going on, you know. Songs are written about that. Here's one that'll touch all of us. I hope you remember. It's a lesson too late for the learning, made of sand, made of sand. In a wink of an eye, my soul is turning in your hand, in your hand. Remember? Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. As I walk, all my thoughts are a-tumbling round and round, round and round. Underneath my feet the subway's rumbling. Underground, underground. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. as I lie in my bed in the morning without you, without you. This song in my breast dies a bornin without you, without you. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. You know that was the last thing on my mind.
Thanks a lot, Jim Rivera on the vocal there.
The fabulous Jim Rivera.
David Ritchie on guitar. Yeah, isn't there?
Thank you. Now, we've done a lot of traveling, as we've alluded to before, but one thing that folk musicians like to do is they like to sing about trains. I have to admit it, because in a country where the east is east and the west is west, never the twain shall meet.
Why are you saying that?
Because it's a song about a tutu twain.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to say that. Well, I've been to the Atlantic Ocean, seen the wide Pacific shore, seen the lady of the mountain and the South Belle by the door. She's long and tall and handsome, and she's loved by one and all. She's a modern combination called the Wabash Cannonball. Oh, listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. There's a mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Here he is, Dr. J, picking the banjo for you. Now the eastern states are dandies, so the western people say. From New York to St. Louis or Chicago, by the way. From the hills of Minnesota where the rippling waters fall, no chances will be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. Oh, listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. There's a mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Polka!
Well, here's to Daddy Claxton, may his name forever stand. Will he be remembered and march throughout our land? When his earthly race is over and the curtain round him falls, he'll be carried off to victory on that Wabash cannonball.
Oh, listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call, riding through the jungle on the Wabash cannonball.
Put your hands together now. Oh, listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call, riding through the jungle on the Wabash cannonball. Oh, listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo's call, riding through the jungle on the Wabash cannonball.
Wow. We had Heather do a song for you. It was a nice little ditty. But she really is quite a talent. She's going to introduce you once again, that don't know that, to the musical instrument called the Irish drum. It's called a...
Bowron.
All right.
Bowron is what it's called.
It's an old war drum, and the song she's going to share with you now, I have to preempt her a little bit, forgive me. I can't sing it this way she does it. It's so fast, and she never takes her breath, but it's a song that goes back in Irish history called The Rocky Road to Dublin.
In the merry month of June, from me home I started, left the girls in Tuam, nearly broken hearted, saluted me father dear, kissed me darling mother, drank a pint of beer, me grief and tears to smother, then off to reap the corn, leave where I was born, cut a stout black fawn, a banish ghosts and goblins, a brand new pair of brogues for running all the bugs and frightening all the dogs, on the rocky road a Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up the Heron turn and down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, where the la-di-da. In Mullingar that night arrested them so weary, started by daylight next morning bright and early, took a drop of the pure to keep me heart from sinking, that's the Paddy's cure whenever he's but drinking, to see the lassie smile, laughing all the while at me curious style with such a heart above, and when asked if I was hired, wages I required till I was nearly tired of the rocky road to Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up the Heron turn and down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, what the la-di-da. In Dublin next arrived, thought it such a pity soon to be deprived of view of that fair city. Then I took a stroll down among the quality bundle, it was stole all in a late locality. Something crossed my mind when I looked behind, no bundle could I find upon me stick a wobbin inquiring for the road. They said to me, come on brogue, wasn't much in vogue on the rocky road to Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up the Heron turn and down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, what the la-di-da. From there I got away, me spirits never failing, landed on the quay just as the ship was sailing. Captain at me roared, said that no room had he when I jumped aboard. A cabin bound for Paddy down among the pigs. We played some hearty rigs and then some hearty jigs. The waters round me bubbled when up the Holyhead. I wish myself were dead, but too far instead on the rocky road to Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up the Heron turn and down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, what the la-di-da. Well, the boys in Liverpool, when we safely landed, called myself a fool. I could no longer stand it, blood begun to boil, temper I was losing, dear old Erin's Isle. They began abusing her on me, so I cried, shillelagh, I'll fly some go. We boys were nigh, and so I was a-hopping, and with a loud hooray, they jumped into the fray, quickly cleared the way. Oh, the rocky road, the Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up the Heron turn and down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up the Heron turn and down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, what the la-di-da. Thank you.
Heather Alexander. Yeah.
Now you know why we played a set without Heather first. Because we wanted to.
Limelight
wanted
for
to look
ourselves.
good
You can
for
say
a
it.
while. We're going to do some bluegrass music.
It's our chance to tune our instruments. That's what we're going to do.
Because in bluegrass you can do that.
No,
Says in the
speak-
rule book. You can tune right during the show and everything.
So let's start out. See if you're in tune, David. Oh, let's see if I'm in tune.
It's all part of the act, folks.
It's all right to clap your hands.
When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky, where my parents was born. To a backward old town, it is oftentimes remembered, so many miles that my memory was worn. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? My son, but it's too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's country is holding away.
Sometimes we travel right down the Green River to an abandoned old prison by Adrian Hill, where the air smells like snakes and we shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles is all that we drink. Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay.
too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. The coal company came with the world's largest shovel, tortured the timber and stripped all the land. Laid up for the coal till the land was forsaken, wrote it all off as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, that it's too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Little coal train music. Let my soul roll on down to the Rochester town. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, 5 miles away from wherever I am. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Keep it up now. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, by the Green River, where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. You ain't heard nothing yet. In 1814, we took a little trip along the road down the Mississippi. We took a bag of bacon and we took sack of beans, and we reached the British in the town of New Orleans. We fired our guns and the British kept coming. There wasn't running many as there was a while ago. Fire once more, and they began running right down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Here's the fiddle now.
We looked down the river, we see the British coming. There must have been 100 of them beating on the drum. They stepped so high, they made the beagles ring. They said, well, I got bills, didn't say a thing.
Say what?
We didn't say a thing.
Old Hickory said we could take them by surprise. If we didn't fire much, we looked them in their eyes. So we held up fire till we see the faces well. Then we opened up the squirrels and we began well. They ran to the bars and they ran to the brambles and they ran to the bushes where the rabbits wouldn't go. Ran so fast the hounds couldn't catch them down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. There goes the mandolin. Woo! Now we fired our cannon to the barrel, busted down, and we caught under the gator, and we pointed the round. We filled his head with mini balls and powders behind him. Then we set the powder off the gator, blew his body, went woo! Like that.
Well, we marched back to town in our dinner bag pants. We danced all night with the petty gals and friends. Couldn't attend them, but they had through the charms. Understood them better, we held them in our arms.
Ooh, la, la. We fired our guns to the British kept coming. There wasn't quite many as there was a while ago. Fire once more, and they began running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, march back home, we'll never be content till we make cold turkey. The people are dead. Every time I think about the bacon and the beans, I think about when we are down in New Orleans. They ran to the bars and they ran to the mountains and they ran to the bushes and the rounds and go. Ran so fast that the hounds couldn't catch him. Right down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Fired our guns to the British kept coming. There was running many as a little while ago. Fire once more and they began running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Here's Heather once again.
We've enjoyed very much having the opportunity to share our music with the good people of Reading. How about a round of applause for Heather Alexander? This is David Ritchie on lead guitar. Bill Johnston on mandolin and guitar. Mike Halloran on bass. I'm Jim Rivera. Get your hands together. This is the way we go out. A little more of the same. Thank you, Reading, and God bless you all.
Fired our guns like the British kept coming to one by the many as what's all go. Fire once more, they begin to run on down the Mississippi, they call me cool.
Have a nice evening. God bless you all.
And it gave him a pain. He said, stand back, I'm gonna make it rain. Hey, Brother Noah, I'll tell you what to do. Build me a floating
What am I gonna
zoo
do with that?
and take some of them green alligators and long-necked geese,
Some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees,
some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, don't you forget my unicorn. Now Noah was there to answer the call. He finished up making the ark just as the rain started to fall. He marched in the animals 2 by 2, and he called out as they went.
What'd he say?
Hey Lord,
I got you green
alligators and long-necked geese,
some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants.
but Lord, I'm so